What's up, guys, and welcome back to Security Guard Command. I know I've been off of YouTube for a while, and I've been pretty busy. Work, family, everything just going a million miles an hour. But this last weekend, Saturday night, we had a had a guy come into the hospital, and I can't say too much about him, hospital HIPAA and all that stuff. But anyway, what I can say is that this guy ate a whole bag of psychedelic mushrooms sometime before he came into the hospital. Apparently, the ambulance company tried to get him to the hospital, and he was fighting with the EMT and the paramedic. And PD was called. Apparently, though, the guy got away and PD was canceled, and somehow he ended up into emergency room anyway. Refused all care. Doctor said he can go, so he was discharged. While one of my officers was trying to escort him out, he started making a scene, started punching walls, and I happened to just walk in on that area, and no one called me, but I happened to walk in the area that they were at, and it was by the main entrance of the hospital, and they were trying to get him to go out. So I joined in, tried to get him to go out, tried to head him off. All of a sudden, he made a break for it. He ran right into the main hospital hallway towards the elevators. And I had already known about this guy because we had some calls earlier in the evening about him. He was being very disruptive, and I already known what was going on with him. So I immediately knew that I could not allow him to gain access to the main hospital with all the patients in the floors, and put the staff and the patients at risk and danger. So I started following, I started chasing him. We're running down the hall. So keep in mind, this guy ate a whole bag of psychedelic mushrooms. He was high as a kite, okay? And he was very manic, very just all over the place. So I'm chasing him down this hall, and this is a long stretch of hallway that gets to the main elevators. And he was very fast, probably because of the drugs he had taken. So I paced myself. I was about 3 feet behind him, and I could have caught him right away. But I'm thinking in my head, you know what? I'm going to let him kind of burn some of his energy. I'll catch him at the end of the hall, because once he has to turn, he's going to have to slow down or he's going to hit the wall. Well, in this case, he slowed down a little bit, but he still hit the wall. That gave me the opportunity to go and take him down at that point. So as soon as he hit that wall, I was right on him. I put my arm out, wrapped my arm around him, tried to bring him down. He slipped out of my arms. So I went down to the ground. My partner, my other officer, he got on him immediately, tried to grab him. I got up, I grabbed him. We were trying to wrestle him down. He was exhibiting some pretty extreme strength. I grabbed him by the shirt. I pulled him down. My other officer grabbed him by the legs, tried to bring him down. We finally got him on the ground. We were both on top of him, trying to gain control of his arms. This guy stood up with both of us on top of him. Okay, I am almost 200 pounds, and my fellow officer is probably pushing 180, 190. So we're both on top of him. He stands up. Again, extreme strength. I get a hold of his wrist. I'm holding his arm, and I'm trying to get his arm behind his back, and he is just fighting it. The other officer has also got the other wrist. He's trying to get him behind his back. This guy's, again, super strong. All right. So I end up doing this maneuver where I'm holding his wrist, and then I end up going up and around like this, and then I have his wrist behind his back. I got him in a wing. Now I can hold him with one hand, and then what I do is I use my knee, and I use my knee to go to the back of his knee just to cause his knee to bend. Once his knee bends, I'm able to bring him down a little bit. I slip my arm over the back of his neck and then around his chest, and I'm holding him behind his head and my arm across his chest with his other arm behind his back, and I'm holding like this, and I go down. And I'm holding him there, and we're up against the wall. That way, he cannot go forward because the wall is in front of him. The other officer does the same thing, gets his hands behind his back. And then as soon as we gain control of the subject, I get on my radio and I call for additional assistance from my patrol officer. He comes inside. I instruct him to grab the other arm that I'm holding. He takes control. I step to the side. I get on the phone. I'm starting to call PD. We take him outside. As soon as we let him go, because we didn't intend to arrest him. We intended to just get him out of the hospital, outside of the thing and away from the danger of all the other patients and staff. As soon as we let him go, he turns around and he starts punching us again. He starts hitting us, starts fighting. So we have to take him down a second time. We got him down. We held him down. Now we have 3 officers holding him down. And now we're waiting for PD to arrive. And we end up turning him over to PD. Now, the reason I'm making this video, guys, is because I want to just express to you guys how important it is to be aware of how strong people can be when they're on drugs. Everybody is capable of that strength. Everybody's body is extremely powerful. I mean, our potential is insane. The only thing that is limiting our potential is our mind, okay? Our mind limits our potential to protect our bodies, because when you overexert your muscles, you overexert your body, you cause damage to your muscle fibers, to tendons, things tear, things break. And so our minds actually limit our strength to protect our bodies. But when you're on drugs and you're high, your mind is open. The same thing happens with some elderly people that are experiencing mental issues like dementia, Alzheimer's. Their mind does not limit their strength. And so you can take a 90-year-old man and he can be incredibly strong. And I've dealt with many people who were either on drugs or experiencing Alzheimer's, dementia, or some other mental illness, incredibly strong. So you guys got to keep in mind that if somebody doesn't seem to be quite right up in their head, just be careful, because their bodies can be incredibly strong and they can do some damage to you and to others around you. So it's important, guys, to just really pay attention to that and be careful. And I would recommend not engaging with somebody who appears to be mentally altered, and more or less just try to redirect them and get them out of the area. In my case here, I didn't have a whole lot of choice, because he was already heading towards the main hospital, the main upper floors with all of our vulnerable patients and our staff. So I had to make the decision to stop this guy before he ended up getting to the elevators, because number one, there's no way in hell I'm getting into an elevator even with 2 officers with this guy. Okay, the only thing I could have done possibly is held the door, but then I would have been in a position of vulnerability as well, because if I had held that elevator, I would have been at a position where he could attack me. I did have a second officer with me, but even then, with 2 of us, it was still difficult to gain control of the subject. So I had to stop him before he got to that point where he had an advantage. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to call it a fight. This fight was ugly. There was nothing that looked good about it. I got thrown to the ground. I got hit in the lip. I got a busted lip. I got a bruise on my arm. I don't even remember getting this. You can see that yellow going across right there. I don't even know when that happened, to be honest with you, but it happened during that fight. I got beat up a little bit, but we still came out on top, and we subdued the subject, got him out of the hospital, and everything was safe. But this fight, absolutely just an ugly fight. Initially I tried to get him down and bring him down to the ground, and he slipped out, and I ended up going down instead. He tried to run. My other partner got him, and then my partner got thrown off of him as well. I jumped back up, got a hold of him, and it was a lot of grappling, and it was very messy. There was nothing nice about it. You watch movies where these people are going hand-to-hand combat. It was nothing like that, guys. And to be honest, I don't expect anybody involved in a situation like that to expect a fight like that to actually look good. Keep in mind too that when you get in a fight like that, when you've got bystanders, you've got witnesses, it doesn't look good. It looks like an all-out messy brawl. And I guarantee you that in most cases you're gonna have a camera on you. So just keep that in mind. Avoid those type of incidences if you can. I recommend trying to verbally redirect these type of people and get them to move on to another area away from whatever you're trying to protect. Just wanted to throw that out there, guys. Real quick video tonight. Anyway, guys, stay safe out there. I'll catch you later.